not quite as cute as a bear, but it's a representation of the material we'll be talking about.
I think we're good to go with the video.
My name is Greg Calley. I'm the creative director of IR Technology. I've been living with epilepsy for about 10 years. I grew up skateboarding. Definitely didn't want to wear a helmet because I never would wear one out in the streets.
This is JD Chase from Impact Production Technologies. The idea came after Kevin Pierce, the Olympic snowboarder, injured himself in 2007, and it kind of gave me an idea of like I didn't necessarily need to wear a helmet. I wasn't an Olympian athlete soaring 30 feet in the air, but I did want protection, and there was no medium ground for that.
The foam we chose is actually a performance-grade open cell urethane foam. It actually uses what the manufacturer calls smart molecules that actually harden on impact. Patent-pending technology that we're working on is more than just a cap. It's more than just a liner. It's the actual material technology. It's the sequence of having outer and inner shells.
I hear about a head injury now, like probably at least a really bad one I hear about every month now. When's it gonna get dangerous enough for people to start wearing proper gear? Making safety feel like it's just clothing is a really great idea.
Just here to talk to you about the new progression gear from Iron Technologies. Did me wonders. It's incredible and incredibly lightweight.
We're bridging that gap between the social risk and the physical risk.
Having the opportunity to wear something that is cool and almost ahead of the game that actually does protect your head, I think it would be a no-brainer, especially for someone with a disorder like epilepsy.
Hi guys, thank you very much for having us. Thank you very much for inviting us to be here with you. This has been a pleasure just being in the room with you guys. We are IR Technologies. We're a Southern California-based startup company. We are designing clothing for protection for clothing. This one. I'm having the same issues as everybody else.
Can you just go to the next?
There we go. So, I'm a father of a 17-week loss of water baby. He made it to 29 and a half weeks. He spent 51 days in the NICU. He's now fine, amazingly enough. But he loves skateboarding, and I took him skateboarding. He loves to go down hills. He likes speed. And as we were skateboarding one day, he wobbled in front of me, and he fell. And he bloodied his face, his arms, and everything. And as he was screaming and I was picking him up, I was wondering, I said, Jack, why didn't you use your brakes? He said he didn't want to scuff his new shoes. 4 years old, he didn't want to scuff his new shoes. This is a cultural thing that we need to address. It's an issue.
All right. So being a material technology company that also produces products, unique products, we find ourselves in a situation where we essentially have two competitors. We have competitors for people that are manufacturing material alone, and then people that are manufacturing helmets and protective gear itself. For the material itself, we do believe that we're more comfortable. It's a softer, more pliable, and that's really attributed to the high-performance materials that we're selecting. As far as the competitors, helmets really do have one thing going for them that's really good, is they are effective. The problem is they're only effective if you're actually wearing them. So that's what we're really trying to address. Next slide. So in summary, where the basis of our technology is layering open cell foam polymer liner, and then another layer of foam. All the quantities of the layers, all the densities and thicknesses of the materials can all be varied, so it really can be tailored to a lot of different applications. We're going to talk about 2 of them today, but just keep in mind it's an expandable process that can be led to different products. Also, inherently with the design of layering and the manufacturing, there's opportunities to basically involve sensor technology for some of the great concepts we've been talking about earlier today, and having some sort of electronics integrated within the product itself. Our product development, so we started out doing a standalone liner that would go inside any ball cap. Over the course of time, gotten some feedback from other people, and they one of the big things is just overall comfort. It wasn't really quite fitting on their head quite right, so the feedback is that they wanted something that's all integrated, where they don't have to worry about putting it in and getting it to fit right. So we came up with an integrated hat. So the goal is to make it look and feel as much like a ball cap, but again, offer the protection. Further on that, we're also working on some helmet applications as well to improve the quality of existing helmets. Next slide. Back one, please. So this is a conceptual rendering of the hat that you see here. One of the key features, or 2 of the key features to note, is one, we added a drop down in the back for additional coverage on the occipital lobe to basically, one, offer some more coverage, but we also found that it actually helps to hold the hat on the head a little bit more. And then also integrating some kind of chin strap. Obviously, the one that you see here is very general. We do have a few ideas to make it basically where you don't see a chin strap, but it still holds the hat in the head. We're definitely still in the development stage on that. So we did actually go to third-party testing, as you saw briefly in the video. So we needed to get some real numbers to base all this. So the padding that you have in your hands right there, that's the thinnest that we're comfortable offering at this point. So basically taking that and comparing it to nothing. So putting it on the same test equipment that's used for CPSC helmet testing, just lowering the drop height accordingly so that they don't break their equipment. They dropped it down with no protection, got 1,000 Gs. Just inserting our material got down to, it was under 300 Gs. So roughly a 70% reduction in force. The next product, I mentioned previously, was we're looking at helmet technology. And one of the big things that we found is adding multiple layers. It really has a drastic increase in the amount of dispersion that it offers, basically through the shear forces between the layers. If you go to the next slide. Should be, go back one. Yeah, this one here, sorry. So these are the actual test samples that we used. The one on the top left is material that's currently used in commercially available soft foam helmets. As you can see in the picture, there was permanent deformation after one hit from CPSC drop height, which is the current standard for certification. Our sample, which is the same overall thickness, withstood 3 impacts, and there was literally no visible damage on the outside. So it's capable of multiple impacts and significantly reduce the force dispersion. So similar chart that we had before. This one's comparing the commercially available soft foam standard to our material, and this was a 78% reduction. We believe that we can even improve more upon that. This was some initial testing, so we definitely have a long way to go on that, but it was very promising. All right, our development plan going forward, we basically broke it down to 3 segments here. So we have headwear, which we've been talking about, apparel, which we haven't really talked about, or just a matter of time, but we're working to integrate similar technology into street clothes. So people walking around wearing a flannel, wearing jeans, wearing t-shirts, hoodies, things that people want to wear and comfortable wearing, that's going to integrate this technology in it. And then obviously for epilepsy, we plan to create a very specific product similar to what JD is wearing here, but through focus groups and through feedback, which we plan to do in the first quarter of this year, is tailor a product that is something that, one, is going to do what it needs to do, but two, is going to be something that people are going to want to wear and be comfortable wearing. Overall budget. So as a business, we definitely have some corporate and insurance expenses, but the majority of our time and money is going to be spent for testing and R&D. So wanted to expand on that. And then what we call the IR Owl Advantage, again, is the layered technology, soft, pliable, and blending fashion and performance. Really appreciate everyone's time and the opportunity to be up here. Thank you.
I'll start off with an esoteric question, kind of different. So as I look at that, I love it. It feels very comfortable. How easy is this to clean, a hat like that or a helmet in that direction?
So basically, the hat can be cleaned the same way you would an existing ball cap. The recommendation for most of those is usually hand wash, but the material itself can withstand temperatures and the water content of, a lot of them you put in the dishwasher is a common method of washing hats. So it can do that. Plus the material itself, by nature, is antimicrobial, so it restricts against bacterial growth inherently. Sorry.
Okay, well, great thing about your product. I mean, if a kid's on a skateboard, he can maybe not get epilepsy because he's wearing this. But now, so is this like D3O or Deflection armor? Is this get hard on impact?
It does, yeah. So it's a Rogers Corp proprietary foam that does harden on impact. So basically, if you feel it now, when you kind of crunch it slowly, it will compress. If you had it on the table and you kind of hit it with your knuckle, it would stiffen up and it wouldn't go all the way through to the ground.
Okay, and does this have does this have a UL rating or like a CE rating, like CE level 1, CE level 2? I ride dirt bikes my entire life, so as a matter of fact, I crashed last week with a jacket with hardening foam like this, and it still hurt, mostly my pride.
But you're here to tell about it. To be completely honest, I'm not sure about the CE certifications on it. I can definitely check into that for it.
Okay, and okay, here's right here.
Yep.
I mean, I just think it's really cool because kids who ride skateboards won't wear helmets. They're not cool. They might wear this.
Yeah, and then you have to design for girls.
We can do that. We can do that.
I got 6 kids. The ones that ride skateboards, they all dress the same.
There are those that don't, that have epilepsy.
Are you manufacturing any products now, or is this all still just in the development phase?
So we were manufacturing the liners here in the U.S. We have since stopped on that just because the volume wasn't really coming, and we were changing to this. So we have not started mass producing this. We are at a point now with our manufacturers where 1 or 2 more iterations to kind of lock in the process, and we'll be good to go. So we have everything lined up and everything queued up. We're not just currently manufacturing.
You have kind of a 3-pronged approach between helmets, epilepsy, and apparel, which makes sense, but is a lot of different activity. Does one have priority, or are you trying to develop one?
It is. The headwear is definitely our priority. The reason that because I agree 100% that trying to focus in, the reason that we've entertained some of the other avenues is, one, feedback of people retailers that we're talking to about the hats. They're interested in the clothing, plus the material itself. The technology for the material is going to be the same, so it's really just a matter of taking what we've already developed for the hats and putting it into apparel. But short answer to your question is the headwear is our focus.
What's the plan for, so you are, as you said, manufacturing, so the goal for the money is for what aspect of the next step?
So the finances are going to be for a few different things, to be honest. The testing is going to be a huge thing. We've done a lot of preliminary testing, but to really refine this and really get something that is as fine-tuned as it can be, there's going to be more testing, specifically for the helmet variety. There's a lot of more R&D to be able to pass CPSC certifications and to get it to that standard. There's a lot more iterations on that. Plus, we're reaching a point with our manufacturers where they can only be creative at, a certain creativity for free. We've gotten a real good relationship with our manufacturers now, and they've helped us out a lot. But we're kind of at a point where we need to start paying for prototypes and iterations.
Anything from the audience? A couple questions. Got to make it relatively brief. I'm going to take 2 questions.
Right over here. How is your headwear different from the currently available crash hats?
A lot of the crash hats have a very hard outer shell, like an ABS shell, whatever, and very thin amount of foam. For one, the foam that they're using is, the ones I've seen, is just a typical EVA, so it doesn't offer the performance and the criteria that ours does. Plus, it's a comfort thing. It's obvious that you're wearing it. It doesn't really conform as well as we'd like for our product.
One more question.
What's your projected cost? And then what are you going to sell it to retailers for? And then thirdly, what's the projected suggested retail price?
You want to talk costs?
Costs are going to be about, depending on quantity, obviously, between $18 and $22, and our suggested retail price is going to be around $60.
So if we did help you out with this, you would give lots of these to the Epilepsy Foundation for free?
We would be honored to help out Epilepsy with some hats. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.